What do you do when the man who says he cherishes you refuses to let you leave? She's standing at the door, phone in hand, eyes fixed on him, not moving. The room is quiet, but something feels final. 6:42 p.m., Maryland. Aurora Pierce wasn't afraid of arguments. She handled pressure for a living. She knew how to walk away, but this felt different. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't step closer. He just watched her, without blinking, and then he said it. Over my dead body. Aurora forced a laugh, tried to make it feel small, but her hand tightened around her phone, because something in his tone didn't sound emotional. It sounded decided. What happened next would uncover hidden relationships, messages that didn't make sense, and a timeline that refused to stay straight. Because Aurora wasn't the only one in Marcus Reed's life, and she had just found out. She met Marcus Reed online. Simple conversation. Nothing unusual. He seemed calm, steady, safe, too safe. He remembered everything she said, every small detail, every preference. First, it felt thoughtful. Then it felt studied. Aurora kept her routine. Work, calls, late messages with friends. Nothing hidden. But Marcus didn't like unanswered texts. Not even for minutes. He didn't argue about it. He just noticed and stored it. Then came the first crack. A message. Not meant for her. Different tone. Different energy. Different name. Carrie. Aurora read it twice. Then again. It wasn't just casual. It was personal. When she asked him, he didn't deny it. He didn't explain it either. He just said, "It's nothing you need to worry about." But one detail didn't add up. Aurora stepped back, emotion rising, but controlled. She wasn't dramatic. She wasn't impulsive. She was done. "I don't want this anymore." Her voice stayed calm, but her hands shook. Marcus didn't react immediately. No anger, no panic, just silence. Longer than it should be. Then he smiled. Not warm, not soft, just slight. And that's when the air shifted. "You're not serious." Aurora didn't answer, because she was. Marcus took a step forward. Slow, measured. "You don't leave me like that." No shouting, just certainty. Aurora reached for the door. Her phone lit up in her hand. Incoming call, Tanya Pierce. She didn't answer, because Marcus spoke again. Quieter this time. "If I don't have you." He paused, not searching for words, choosing them. "Nobody will." 6:47 p.m. Aurora's hand froze on the handle. Something in her chest dropped. Not fear. Not yet. Something worse. Realization. Because this didn't feel like a threat. Felt like a decision already made. And minutes later, Aurora Pierce stopped responding. No calls. No texts. No movement. Nothing. 3 hours later, her phone went straight to voicemail. Her sister kept calling. Again. And again. And again. But one question stayed buried beneath everything. If Aurora walked away, why did no one ever see her leave? How do you vanish from a place you never left? The door was closed. The lights were still on. 9:58 p.m., Maryland. Aurora's phone kept ringing. No answer. No movement. 3 hours missing. Tanya Pierce drove over. Fast. Heart already sinking. She knocked once. Then harder. Nothing. The door wasn't locked. That didn't feel right. Inside, everything looked normal. Her bag. Still there. Her shoes, by the wall. Her keys, untouched. Aurora never went anywhere without them. But one detail didn't add up. Tanya called her name. No reply. Just silence. Sitting heavy in the room. Then she saw it. Aurora's phone on the floor. Screen cracked. Call log still open. Last call, Tanya Pierce. The line had never connected. What police would find next would raise more questions than answers, because someone was still there. After Aurora disappeared, Marcus Reed answered his phone calmly. Said he left earlier. Said everything was fine. Said Aurora just needed space. But something didn't match. Main subject, Marcus Reed. A neighbor spoke up. Jared Collins. He didn't see Marcus leave. Not once. But he did hear something. A sound sharp and sudden. Then nothing. No footsteps. No door. Just silence. Police arrived within the hour. They walked the same rooms. Saw the same details. But one thing stood out. No forced entry. No struggle visible. No sign she walked out. Aurora Pierce didn't leave. Missing inside her own home. Then came the question no one could answer. If she never walked out, who walked out for her? If he left early, why does the timeline refuse to move? A camera across the street stayed active. Every minute recorded. 6:30 p.m. to 10:15 p.m. No one walks out. Not Aurora. Not Marcus. The door never opens. Detective Nolan Avery watches it twice. Then again. Something isn't just missing. Something is being hidden. The footage doesn't show a disappearance. It shows a contradiction. And someone lying without hesitation. Marcus said he left before 7. The footage says otherwise. His car, still parked, engine cold, unmoved. That doesn't align. Detective Brielle Sutton notes it quietly. No reaction, just a shift in focus. 'Cause Marcus didn't just lie, he stayed. Phone data gets pulled. Aurora's device. Inactive after 6:47 p.m. No movement. No signal shift. Marcus's phone? Still pinging the same location. Same room. Same time. Then silence. Marcus repeats his story. I left. No hesitation. No adjustment. But one detail breaks everything. A message sent. After he claimed he was gone. From inside the house. Not to Aurora. To someone else. Carrie Farver. The message was short. Cold. Controlled. Everything's handled. Detective Avery pauses the screen. Doesn't speak. Because now, this isn't just about a missing woman. It's about someone managing the aftermath. Before anyone knew there was one. But one question remains. If Marcus never left, and Aurora never walked out, what happened inside that house? No one was supposed to see. Why would a stranger know what only Aurora should know? A new message appears. Different phone. Same tone. 11:12 a.m. Next day. I'm still here. Short. Direct. Unsettling. Detective Brielle Sutton reads it twice. Something feels off. Because Aurora's phone isn't active. Completely silent. Yet someone is texting. Like nothing happened. The messages don't just continue. They become more personal. And begin to rewrite Aurora's last known moments. Carrie says Aurora reached out. Late. After the argument. But that can't be true. Aurora stopped responding at 6:47 p.m. No calls. No texts. So who is messaging now? The texts grow longer. More emotional. Almost rehearsed. I just needed space. I'm okay. Don't look for me. Tanya reads them. Her hands shake. That doesn't sound like Aurora. Not the words. Not the rhythm. Not the distance. Detective Avery notices something subtle. The phrasing. The structure. Too controlled. Too clean. Like someone trying to sound like her. But one detail didn't add up. Carrie insists the messages are real. Says Aurora contacted her first. But when asked for proof, she hesitates. Just for a second. Then changes her answer. Now the timeline splits. Marcus says he left. The footage says he didn't. Carrie says Aurora is alive. The phone says she's not. Two people. Two stories. One missing woman. And both accounts can't exist at the same time. The messages don't stop. They increase. More emotional. More defensive. Almost like someone is trying to keep Aurora alive. But not for her. For themselves. If Aurora isn't sending those messages, who is speaking for her? And why won't they stop? Why do the messages sound exactly the same? Same pauses. Same phrasing. Same control. Detective Nolan Avery lines them up. Aurora's past messages. The new ones. Side by side. Something feels wrong. Aurora used short replies. Quick. Natural. Imperfect. These are different. Longer. structured, careful. But one detail didn't add up. The punctuation repeats. Exact spacing. Same rhythm. Not just similar. Identical. Detective Brielle Sutton shifts focus. Not to Aurora. To Marcus. His past messages are pulled. Old chats. Archived threads. They match. Not loosely. Precisely. Same sentence flow. Same wording habits. Even the pauses feel the same. Marcus wasn't just texting. He was recreating Aurora's voice, but through his control. Tanya reads one of the messages again. I just need time. She shakes her head. Quietly. That's not her. Because Aurora never asked for distance. She ended things. Clearly. But the messages keep her close. Alive. Available. Still connected. To him. What investigators uncover next won't just expose manipulation. It will reveal how long this control had been building. Lance Holloway steps forward. Marcus's co-worker. He mentions something small. Something overlooked. Marcus hated being ignored. Even briefly. He didn't argue. He adjusted. Watched patterns. Learned behaviors. And then mirrored them. Not affection. Control. The room goes quiet. Because this wasn't sudden. It was practiced. 7 days since disappearance. The messages continue. Still active. Still consistent. As if Aurora never left. But now one truth is unavoidable. If Marcus can copy her voice and control her presence, what else was he already controlling? Before she disappeared. If nothing happened, why does he start deleting everything? His phone goes quiet. Accounts begin to disappear. Marcus Reed stops replying. Not just to police. To everyone. But the silence comes too late. What investigators recover next isn't just evidence. It's something he thought was already gone. Detective Brielle Sutton checks his devices. Not what's there. What's missing. Deleted messages. Wiped logs. Cleared history. But traces remain. Fragments. A backup file surfaces. Hidden. Overlooked. Inside it, a draft message. Never sent. Short. Cold. She shouldn't have said that. Detective Nolan Avery doesn't react. Just stares. Because that's not fear. That's justification. But one detail didn't add up. More fragments appear. Search entries. Repeated. Obsessive. How to stop someone from leaving. The room shifts. No one speaks. Because this isn't panic. It's preparation. Lance Holloway remembers something else. Marcus, quiet that day. Too quiet. Left early. Came back late. But the timestamps don't agree. He didn't leave. He stayed. Long after everything went silent. Nearly 3 hours. Unaccounted for. Inside the same place. Aurora was last seen. And now the messages stop completely. No more texts. No more pretending. Just absence. As if the voice he created is no longer needed. Detective Avery leans back. Finally speaks. This wasn't loss of control. A pause. This was control. The entire time. And one question lands heavier than the rest. If Marcus planned how to keep her, what exactly happened? In those missing hours he can't explain. What breaks first? The lie? Or the person holding it together? The room is quiet. No messages left to send. Marcus sits still. No anger. No panic. Just silence. Detective Nolan Avery places the file down. Messages. Timestamps. Deleted fragments. All aligned. Marcus looks at it. Doesn't deny it. Because there's nothing left to adjust. What comes next isn't a confession driven by emotion. It's the collapse of control he can no longer maintain. You said you left. Avery's voice stays level. Marcus nods slightly. But the footage says otherwise. The phone data says otherwise. The messages say otherwise. And finally, he stops speaking. Because the silence now is louder than anything he said before. But one truth remains. Aurora Pierce didn't walk away. She didn't disappear by choice. She was stopped by someone who refused to lose control. Tanya Pierce sits outside, phone in her hands. Still, no more calls to make, no more messages to read. Just the weight of knowing. Aurora tried to leave, and wasn't allowed to. Marcus Reed is taken into custody. No resistance, no final words, because the story he created has already fallen apart. Justice begins, but justice doesn't bring her back. It doesn't answer every moment. It doesn't fill the silence she left behind. It only confirms one truth. Some endings aren't sudden. They are built slowly, inside control, inside obsession, inside someone who refuses to let go. And Aurora Pierce paid the price for trying to choose herself. She tried to leave. He made sure she never could. If this story stayed with you, subscribe to The Veil of Secret for more stories that don't just tell the truth. They make you feel it.